Hello, and welcome to the Lone Larch podcast. My name is Jenny. You can find me on Instagram as Lone Larch Designs and on Etsy as Lone Larch Designs. You can also find me on Ravelry as jentastk. How is everyone? Did you think I was never going to come back? Because I kind of thought I was never going to come back. I haven't recorded for a while, but here I am today. We're in a forest that is in my town of Olds, Alberta, and hopefully we won't have too many people randomly walking by. I tried to find a quiet spot, so hopefully I won't be found as the weirdo talking to a camera in the forest at 9:30 in the morning. Today is a day, it's May the 9th, and it's a beautiful day. Well, it's kind of chilly, but whatever, it's fine. There's been lots of things going on, hence no podcasting. Emmy and I went down to my sister's house and my parents' house and had many adventures. Emmy went bike riding with Grandpa. My dad is a big road biker. And so with Emmy getting a new bike for her birthday, he wanted to go for a bike ride with her. So we went to Waterton, which is 20 minutes south of where they live. And we found the best little path. It's all paved, and it runs right along the road that takes you from the park gates into the Waterton town site. And we just started riding, and it was snowing, and it was raining, and it was chilly, but we bundled, and we had a great time. What was I going to say? There was something about that bike ride. I can't remember. It was fun. There's construction going on. So anyway, yeah, we had a great time. Emmy... Oh, that's what I was going to say. Emmy rode. My dad has a little computer on his bike because he's a road biker and rides many, many kilometers a day. And so Emmy was very taken with this computer that was on his bike that told him how far he had gone. And the whole trail was 7 kilometers from the park gates to the town site, and we thought there's no way we're going to get the whole way. But we ended up getting 4.5 kilometers one direction, and then Emmy started saying, can we go back to the truck? So we turned around and went another 4.5 kilometers back to the truck. So, oh, it's opposite on my phone, so I'm moving my hair the wrong way. Yeah, she ended up riding 9 kilometers on her new little bike, which I thought was amazing, in the snow and rain. And yeah, we saw a really massive elk herd right near the park gates at Waterton. There's a massive meadow / field where the river comes in, and like massive field off to one side. And there's this massive herd that lives there, or in that area, and they were just meandering through this field. There was probably 50 to 75 animals. It was very cool, and Emmy was just, completely baffled by it, how many animals were all together in the same spot. So we watched them for a while. That's all. We didn't see any bears. It's pretty gross out and early, I suppose, but well, not really. Anyway, so that was a great adventure. Played with cousins lots and lots. And had a fantastic time. I love going down there. And we're going down there again in a couple of weeks because our amazing friends Kirby and Joss are getting married down in Waterton. So we get to go down and stay with my family again and be involved in that wedding, which will be very fun. Emmy's the flower girl, and Jared is the best man. And I get to fly under the radar and do nothing. I can't wait. I just get to go and enjoy the wedding. So that's about where I like to be, so I'm totally fine with that. What else have we been doing? We have started attending church, and by church, I mean the Church of Nature. Jared I can't remember if I think I actually did tell you guys this last time, but Jared decided that we needed to start going to church. And by church, he means going and enjoying nature for hours, 2 hours, 5 hours every Sunday, and reconnecting with the outdoors. Because when Jared and I first met, we lived in Jasper, and all we did, other than working hours, all we did was play outside. We met mountain biking, and then he started taking me rock climbing, and so everything we did was outside, and that has definitely gotten lower on the priority list in our lives as of late. So he just decided that we needed to get back to that, and that is fantastic, because I really need that outdoor time for me to be who I am properly and calmly and sanely. So for him to want that to be a priority was really cool. So we've started doing that. We've done it 2 weeks in a row now. Last week, Kathy came with us, Jared's mom, and we spent the day geocaching just north of where we live. We found 6 geocaches, and it was the first time that Emmy actually is big enough to remember how it works and what to do and everything. We did it when she was really tiny, but not very much. But now it's just a big treasure hunt for her, and she absolutely loves it. So we found 6 geocaches that day, hiked all over Creation, sat in the woods, heard some grouse thumping away, and just enjoyed the day outside. Watson came, obviously, and he ran and had the best day of his life. We ran him way too hard, actually, that first week. And then this past week, Jared's brother Marky came to visit. And so we took him to church with us. And his dog Henry, who is fantastic. So fluffy. He's an Australian Shepherd Husky mix. He is the coolest dog ever. So we didn't geocache this time. We just went to the river, which is the Red Deer River. It's just a spot that we go to hang out. So we hung out at the river for a little while, and then we ended up following some quad tracks up a ways, and which turned into trails up into the forests. And we found this amazing forest full of paper birch trees, which is kind of strange for around here. It usually isn't a lot of paper birch in the forest. It's mainly balsam poplar and aspen and spruce, and then you get a little bit of fir and pine once you get closer to the mountains. But to see so many birch trees in this forest was kind of shocking and very cool. So I peeled some bark off for Emmy and showed her how cool it is, and showing her all of the fantastic naturey things. So that's what we did this week for church. And that's about it. I've been doing lots of tree work. Let's do For the Love of Trees right now, since it's in my brain. For the Love of Trees, I did some work with the boys this week. A couple weeks ago. And the job was to remove 4 poplars that are on a boulevard that were actually town trees. So 4 years ago, I think it was, there was what we call here snow timber. There was a massive snowstorm in the middle of September, and it absolutely demolished not all of the trees, but it demolished a lot of trees. So the damage was just huge, and it freaked everybody out. Everybody immediately thought that all the trees were going to fall on their house and kill everyone, and it was kind of ridiculous how crazy people went. So the homeowners that live in front of these trees decided that they were going to take it into their own hands and get these trees reduced. Now, there's a right way of reducing a tree, and there's a wrong way of reducing a tree. Cutting off all of the tops of the trees at a certain height with no branch to take over is the incorrect way to do it. And that's what these people did. They hired an arborist company. I wouldn't even call them an arborist company, because a trained arborist would not have done this to the trees. But they hired a company to come and reduce these trees so that it wouldn't fall on their house, which is ridiculous. Anyway, trees are meant to grow tall. The minute that you start cutting the tops off of them, you completely change the structure of the tree, and it turns into an even bigger risk than it was before. Anyway, so these people were terrified, hired this company, ruined these trees, and since that happened 4 years ago, they've slowly been declining. And so we got hired to come in and take those trees out. Big mature poplars that had never been topped before that. There's absolutely no reason that they should have been taken out, other than the fact that these people had ruined them. So we had to take these trees out, and it was snowing and raining, and it was ridiculous. So I'm going to put in a little bit of footage from that. The other thing that we have done that's of any interest is Amy and I took out a couple of spruce trees in somebody's backyard. Another slightly soul-crushing thing, there's no reason that these trees needed to come out other than the fact that these people were scared of them falling on their house. It's really frustrating to try and explain to people as much as possible that trees are meant to grow tall. They're structurally sound, unless there's some crazy act of God, some massive snowstorm or windstorm that nobody could have predicted. They're not going to fall down. But to convince someone of that is very difficult. So a lot of the time we end up having to remove trees just because the people want them gone. So perfectly healthy spruce trees, but kind of a tight backyard. Fences, neighbors' houses, garages, homeowner's house. Yeah, it was a little bit tight. It was a little bit tight. We had to use some aiming skills, but it all worked out. Amy did the first tree and flopped it no problem. That one I did not record, but the one that I did, I recorded because I did. Or maybe I did record both. I can't remember. Stay tuned to find out. So yeah, we just dropped these trees and then cleaned up our massive mess. So enjoy that. Crazy. Good job. You do the same thing I do. You always leave the far side bigger.
Isn't that crazy? I can't get in there though.
I've started setting it up on this side first.
Yeah.
Like just going it, you know, starting and then getting this like 2.5 inches maybe.
And then going around
and
this
then
side
finishing that side. Because you can see that side when you're cutting it, right?
Yeah.
But you can never see this side.
No.
So if you set up this and get it ready.
For
exactly.
Me, but
yeah.
that should have been better.
Yeah, exactly.
So tricky. Okay.
Okay, now we get to clean up the mess.
Yeah.
Yay!
This is the big one.
Well done. There's one
That
down.
one's
Let's
tiny.
go see at the front. Make sure there's not somebody eliminated. So let's talk about some knitting now. If there's anything I was going to mention, if there's anything if you have any questions about tree work, if you have anything that you want me to specifically show, let me know, and I'll see if I can record it when it comes up in a job, or answer questions or show demonstrations, whatever. Feel free to ask questions. There's a thread in my Ravelry group called Ask Jenny Anything. Put those questions in there and I will try and answer them for you. So let's talk about some knitting. Are you ready? I have a half-finished object, which is a sock for Leanna, who is my sister-in-law. It is just a vanilla sock that I pulled out of my brain. I did not use a pattern for this heel. I just literally pulled it out of my brain. That's the first time I've ever done that, other than the tiny socks that I've been making. And it was really easy, and it actually gave me a lot of confidence to continue on with the sock pattern that I'm working on, realizing that I know what I'm doing and I just need to trust myself and do it. So this is a vanilla sock. I did my Jenny's Rounded Toe, which you can find in my Ravelry group as well. There's a thread that says Jenny's Rounded Toe, and I explain it all how I do it. So that's totally a lie. This is not my rounded toe, because I did this top down. But I did the same thing, I just did it backwards. So, and then I just did a slip stitch heel with the gusset, obviously, and then that's that. So this yarn is Farm Fairy Fiber. I had to think about that one. Farm Fairy Fiber in the Orchid colorway, which I won from one of her giveaways that she did a while ago. And I love it. Leanna loves it. And I have started the second one. It's very tiny. Where's the camera? There's the camera. It is very tiny, but I have started it and it's mindless, so I pick it up when I'm doing mindless things like waiting at the doctor's office, or waiting for Emmy to get into gymnastics, or it's 9:30 at night and I have no more brain power to think about the cable sweater that I'm doing. And it's just fantastic. So Leanna, hopefully I'll have these done for you sooner rather than later. But they're turning out fantastic. I'd like to show you one thing, if you can see it. Can you spot the one yellow stitch? I can't even spot it on the camera now. Anyway, there's a couple spots in this sock. Oh, there it is. There's a couple spots in this sock where there's just one tiny dot of a random color. And maybe that was a mistake, maybe it's not, but I think it looks cool. So that's that. Oh, nature, you're so pretty. There's all sorts of little baby mountain ashes growing up all around me. It's very pretty. And there's moss all over the bases of the trees, and it just makes me so happy. And 1,000 dandelions, but whatever. Okay, so the other thing I'm working on, I'm saving the good one till last. Can you tell? I'm so excited. The other thing I've been working on is a pair of mittens for Emmy. I know it's nearly summer, but when we went to church last week, see, wrong direction. This camera's screwing me up. When we went to church last week with Kathy, we did not bring nearly enough clothing. It was way colder than we thought it was. And so I decided that I was going to make Emmy a pair of mittens out of this yarn that I bought specifically for her when I was at Fibers West with Kate and Lara. This is Sea Turtle Fiber Arts. I am in love with this yarn. Sea Turtle Fiber Arts in the Troublemaker colorway, and it's on her Ridley sock base. I adore this yarn. I love the way she's done it. It's the semi-solid of the purple is so incredibly perfectly done. That was not good English. Semi-solid is just perfect, and then the randomness of the speckles and the intensity of the speckles just makes me so happy. So, and this is just out of my brain. A lot of stuff is out of my brain lately. 56 stitches, and then I obviously did that, knit straight for a little while, and then I increased, I think, 12 stitches or something for the thumb, and then continued on, took those stitches off, excuse me, and then continued on, and then just did, how did I do that? 56, I divided it by something. Can't even, 8 maybe? Divided it by 8 and then just decreased evenly, obviously, and then Kitchener at the top. That's that. So that one's nearly done. I still have to do a thumb. And then I've started the second one. I have the cuff, and where's the camera? I've started the cuff, and I'm just working straight now. So this yarn is fantastic. It's a little bit thicker than some of the other sock yarn that I've used, which I really like. But I'm using a 2.5 millimeter, and I usually use a 2.25. So that's that. It's just a way better fit for this yarn. It's a little bit thicker. I love this yarn a lot. It's just pure joy working with it. That's the cake. Where's the camera? There we go. Sorry, I'm not used to this GoPro yet. Oh, that's the other thing I was going to ask. If there's any comments on the use of the GoPro as opposed to my phone, which I was using previously, let me know. I changed the camera angle today, so maybe that looks a little bit different than last week. But yeah, if you have any comments on that, feel free to let me know. If not, don't, and I'll just continue on. So those are the Emmy mitts, using the Troublemaker yarn from Sea Turtle Fiber Arts. It's it looks just like Twilight Sparkle, the My Little Pony called Twilight Sparkle, and it makes her very happy. I'll show you the card so I don't. Where's the camera? There it is. SeaTurtleFiberArts.com. Ridley sock. It's an 80/20, right? Yeah, 80/20. Fantastic yarn. I would suggest looking at her stuff. She has a great color palette. So, are you ready? Are you ready? I'm ready. I am so ready for this to be done, and I'm so close. Do you know what it is? This is my Alias cardigan by Isabel Kramer. I'm gonna put it on because I haven't put it on yet. The last time I put it on was when I just had like the bra sweater. I just did this part down to here, and then I tried it on to make sure the arms were right. I haven't tried it on since then. So here we go. Oh, I'm so excited. Except my sleeves are gonna be weird. Hold on. Oh, I'm so excited. Get my other sleeve. I'm gonna get all wrapped up in the yarn too. It's gonna be great. Now this yarn loosened significantly when I blocked it. I got my hair cut yesterday, and I did not do my hair this morning. I just got out of bed and walked out the door. So apologies for my ridiculous hair. Okay, so this is the Alias cardigan. It still needs a button band. I'm gonna stand up. Hold on. Oh, my body, I swear. There. Alias cardigan. It has pockets, which I still have to sew up the sides. It has pockets and this amazing cable on the near the button band. Oh, good grief. And then it has this faux cable running down each side, which runs up the collar obviously as well, as you see. Oh, I love it so much. I probably will not be wearing another shirt underneath like this, and it will loosen significantly with blocking, so it won't be quite so snug, but I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm doing this for the Isabel Kramer knit along that myself and Glenda and Bernadette of Wet Coast Wools are doing. If you don't know who Wet Coast Wools is, this is my fancy project bag that it's living in because I don't have a project bag big enough to fit it anymore. So we're doing an Isabel Kramer along, and this is what I am doing for. Look how perfectly those shoulders fit my shoulders. It's amazing. The cal is going on. It started April 1st and it's going until the end of May. I'm definitely going to be done my sweater by the end of it, but if anyone is struggling with that timeline, we can change it. And I'm going to run out of battery. Are you kidding me? I knew I should have charged it. So my question for you is, should I, instead of, you do a kind of a second collar thing here, where you knit up to this part where I am right now, and then you keep knitting the same amount and then fold it down. So what I am debating doing is using this as the inside, because this yarn, this Briggs & Little yarn, is quite scratchy, and this is definitely not scratchy. So I'm debating putting in the inside of the collar in this, and I need you guys to help me decide this. Should I do this, or is it going to make it way too crazy and wreck the look of it? I'm going to make up a swatch of it, I think, and then lay it inside and see if I really like it or not. So let me know if that's a good idea or not. Okay, the last thing, for the Isabel Kramer Along, I asked for some donations for the prizes. I've gotten a couple replies from people. There's still some things coming in that I'm waiting for, but I did get some things in the mail this week from Color, what's she called? Wild and Happy Color, hand-dyed yarn. She sent me 2 skeins. She sent me Earth Day, which is this one. It's on her authentic base, which is an 80/20, which is the one that I'm going to keep. Shocking, green and naturey, right? And then she sent me another one, which is called Mica. These are both stock bases. And this is the one that's going to be included in the prize. She also sent a couple of Progress Keepers. And a tiny little tree. Shocking, right? Oops, it's flipped. Tiny little tree. Thank you. And she also gave me a coupon code that's, I hope I'm allowed to use this for this purpose, but where did the card go? She said in the card, share this coupon code, thank you 10, and it'll give you 10% off your order. It's written right there at the bottom. It will give you 10% off of your order from her. She's on Etsy. Yeah, Etsy Wild Happy Color. So go check her out. Thank you for that. I really appreciate all the donations that I get, because it's just awesome to see how generous everyone is. Sorry, I have a coffee throat. So that's it. There's a couple more prizes coming in. I will post them when I get them so that you can see what the prize pack is. Make sure that you put your finished objects in the thread, which is in my Ravelry group, Lone Larch Designs. No, what is it? Lone Larch Podcast Ravelry group on Ravelry. Yeah, I'll post when those come in, and I will draw names at the end of the month. I'm not sure if I'll have another podcast before then, but yeah, check Instagram. You'll know. But don't forget to post your finished objects, because that is how I'm going to choose. The finished pictures, I'm going to go through and write down names and then draw from those people. So, isn't this cardigan amazing? Oh, it's so rad. So, that's all I have to say this week. Super short and sweet. I need to not be ridiculous and just start making time for the podcast more, because really, well, it does take time. It definitely takes time, but I have time to do it. So, that is that. I'm going to carry on with my day. Have a great day, everyone, and I will see you soon. Big kiss. Bye. Mwah.